What's up, everybody? It's your girl Q1, and I am back with Belle Collective Season 7, Episode 4, Group Kerrapy. Before I start, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Click the notification bell button so you can be updated on every video I drop. Make sure y'all like the video so I can stay in the algorithm. Here we go. Y'all, the episode picks back up with Glendale. He in his feelings. He get in his pickup truck and he left because all he can hear is my wife saying she don't want me no more. And I was just like, girl, how are you going to do that and be married, and while you still living with him? Okay, we all know that that's not going to work. I do feel like you're trying to punish Glendale because you're still pissed off at Glendale. And you're going to use celibacy in order to withhold your, your couch potato. Okay, you're wanting to hold up you don't want to give up your cooch to Glendale. Okay, and I understand that. Okay, because he nasty. Anyway, Glendale, I feel like Glendale needs this. He doesn't, but all he's gonna do is if he don't give it to you, he's going to go get it from somebody else. But that's what he's always been doing, and you know that. Like, Glendale have a harem of women somewhere. And now, since he's been on TV, he really has his harem somewhere out there in the Jackson area. Like, Glendale is not to be trusted. Anyway, when can he go? Does he still work on the boat? Okay, can he get his twit cards for people only in Texas? Like, if y'all watching my channel and y'all have twit cards, is that only for Texas people who want to work offshore or what? But Glendale needs to go. Okay, he just needs to go because he want too much of whatever Leticia have. Anyway, he then tells her, you looked your husband, because she picked up the phone and called him, and he was like, you looked your husband in the eye and you said you want to be celibate. How do I supposed to take that? You gonna have to figure that out, Glendale. You a big boy. You can figure that out. So he didn't tell her, if you don't want me, just say that, and I just move around. Glendale, why are you trying to guilt trip this lady like you are guilt tripping her at its finest? He then says, it seemed like I bring the worst out of you. She said, you don't bring the worst out of me. You just don't listen to me. And I'm just like, Leticia, girl, he does bring the worst out of you. Look how you treat the women in your friend group. Anyway, Glendale proceeds to victimize himself even more. And I just was like, I'm just tired. I think we're all tired of this. And at the end of the day just gonna end. Shout out to Mrs. Best, because I didn't know we was gonna say the same line in our reviews. Because at the end of the day, Leticia been taking care of Glendale, and that's just what it is. So then we get to Carrie and Matt. Carrie's hair is just not cute in this scene, but I like Kerry, okay? I like Ms. Black Girl Vitamins, okay? I like her. So Kerry starts to explain what's happening between the Bells and this whole Cliff and Glenn. They talk about the Cliff and Glenn situation, which I feel like y'all don't know much about. I feel like Kerry really knows Leticia's side. I don't think she's ever gotten Latrice's side, and I think that's what makes Kerry just a little bit biased in my book, because you only know one-sided. Well, you know what's one-sided. That's all I'm gonna say. So Matt wants to be the peacemaker in the group. Y'all know how the new person come in and they want to bring everybody together, and everybody just want to be kumbaya, my lord, kumbaya. Okay, that is just what we do. Then Matt said, I want to be the peacemaker. He said, because I never saw a candle lose its light until after lighting another candle. I mean, I get what he was saying. He acted like he was so deep. And I was like, really, Matt? Fine. So Matt said, Matt said that they need to sit their wives down so the ladies can have a conversation. And I was just like, Matt, did you not watch the show? Because there has been multiple sit downs with Glenn. First of all, Glendale and Cliff spearheaded that, I think in season 1, or it could have been season 2, where they went to this restaurant and set the people down so they can have a conversation, just so Glendale and Cliff can start hanging out again. Okay, so yeah, sir, I think you late to the party, but anyway, since he's gonna do that he wants Matt. Matt wants to have a sit down with Glendale and Cliff, and while he's doing that, Carrie decides she wants to get the other ladies together, not Latricia. Okay, y'all know that's Latrice and Letitia. Okay, because Carrie is good at putting some names together. And one thing Carrie gonna do is wear some loud lipstick and a loud, what is it, blush. Girl, I was like, okay. But I like Carrie. I do. I think she brings something different to the Bells. I think she's absolutely different. And I do think the Bells don't get her quirky personality. I don't. And I think that they should. She brings a certain type of light to the show. Anyway, well, where was I? So Carrie, she was like, I gotta go inside because my hair and all this humidity. And I was like, girl, your hair was a mess when you walked out to sit with Matt, and it's still a mess. Y'all, Carrie hair be so terrible. Like, I don't know who be responsible for that lady's hair, but y'all, yeah, no. Carrie, don't let them people play in your face like that. Go to Goddess Links and get you some real good bundles, okay? Or just cut your hair off and keep your bob with your real hair. Anyway, Carrie decided, y'all, this hair is making my neck itch. So Carrie decided to get Selena Marie and Tam Tam together and, kind of have a powwow so they could get Latricia back together. Okay? So Carrie feels like, she has to choose a side. And the truth of the matter is, you don't have to choose a side. You're continuously choosing to be on Letitia's side, because I don't even think you've gotten a chance to really sit down and get to know Latrice like that. Ooh, Lord, sorry, y'all. Based on whatever information Letitia has told you, and I'm sure she told you some things about Latrice. That's just my personal opinion. So, she lets the ladies know, they're having Kerrapy. Tambra asks who was invited. Tambra, girl, you know who come in. Ugh, it's not like you gonna give something, because y'all know, quiet as it's kept, I love Tam Tam, but Tam Tam can go. Like, we don't really need Tam Tam. And I want to say, I don't know who it was. Who was I watching? Shout out to y'all, but who was I watching? And they said that, I think it was Color Me Pink, and shout out to Color Me Pink. I think she said she would prefer Shantae and Amanda as new Bells, in addition to the Bells that we already have, which I think would be an excellent idea. Okay? But Tambra can go. Okay, Tambra gives absolutely nothing. Tambra can go. Okay, a Tambra, you don't have to go, but you can be the friend of and kind of come around like Melanie do. Okay, y'all remember big tall Mel the Stallion? I like Mel. She's Latrice's friend. So I feel like you should be able to do that. But to be a full-time Belle, I don't think so. You haven't given anything. And I really like Tambra, but let's just call a thing a thing. We're trying to progress the show. And yeah. Anyway, some should be on the chopping block, but I'm willing to give grace. But Tambra can't go. Anyway, I feel like next season Carrie's gonna have a sweater or a shirt that say Kerrapy. When I tell y'all Kerry is doing a candy on y'all on Belle Collective, you understand me? Kerry has been on a half a season, and we gonna call last season a 0.5 season. This lady done snagged Black Girl Vitamins. She already have her shirts that say sophisticratchet. Like, I'ma coin my own phrase. And I wasn't mad at it. And I hope she's selling merch, because that's what I need to get me. A shirt that says sophisticratchet. Shout out to Carrie. Okay. I hope she have a shirt, a sweater, or whatever that says Kerrapy. Okay. Anyway, I'm not mad at her for capitalizing off of her words. So Marie thinks that it's too soon. Selena thinks that she need a magic potion. And basically, Kerrapy. Carrie want to get the girl. I think I said that she wants Latricia to be here. And I agree, but at the same time, everybody keeps saying how without Latrice and Letitia, they're all somehow stuck in the middle and they're not able to move forward. I disagree. I think y'all can absolutely move forward without those two. And if you don't want to listen, I'm not going to let y'all come in between my coin. That's how I see it. They're friends. These ladies are friends. But at the same time, either y'all going to be here and seen and be cordial, and that's it until y'all can get to a better space. But all of that, who gonna be there and girl, y'all can have that in y'all own time, because Quiet as is kept both of y'all just alike. So if that's the case, it needs to be like, and you can't force people to be friends. We're not forcing y'all to be friends, but we do have to shoot scenes together. Y'all know how this go. So get in the scene. You don't have to talk to her. She don't have to talk to you. It don't always have to be drama. But we do need to make a scene. And I don't think that my money should be contingent. It should be based on y'all two and what y'all do or don't want to do around each other. Yeah, no, y'all can get out my face with that one. That's all I wanted to see. So Letitia is back at the Belle bonding office to get herself back into work and get back into the swing of things. She says she's going to be helping Selena get into the whole Belle bondswoman of it all. Now, on the review with myself, Watching Mouth Reviews, and Mrs. Best, James and Mrs. Best both explain how Belle bondsmen go, because I've heard of it, but I don't know the ins and outs. So they do have explanation as to how it go. So because y'all know, if I hear something, housewife, Belle, I don't care, somebody say they need something, I'm gonna put it out there. So if you live in the Mississippi area and you are not doing great in this economy, okay, is it economy? In this economy, okay, girl, DM Letitia. She said, listen, getting into the Belle's my bondsman role is a great thing. You're going to have all your paperwork and get all your shots and all of the things. Okay? So go ahead and DM her if y'all looking for a job. Y'all DM that lady like y'all being DMing her husband. Okay? Anyway, Letitia tells Selena, because Selena went to visit, she tells Selena, she don't feel, she I don't want you to think that you have to choose, but you do. If you had to pick, you would want them to choose you rather than choose Latrice. Because then that will make you the Queen Bee, the HBIC, the Regina George, etc., etc., dot, dot, dot. And you are neither. You are just Letitia Pearson. This is Hattie Mae Pierce. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, I just don't like how the rest of the Bells are allowing these two women to make or break their group. I do feel like these two women, the rest of these women really get along, for the exception of Tambra. I do feel when you look at Tambra, there is this, she pauses around Marie. She's not comfortable around Marie, and she's not comfortable around Letitia. And for people like Tambra, I do think that this show isn't fit for her. I think what they did to her, it hurt her to the point of, I can't trust you anymore. And I don't blame her. I don't blame her, because I wouldn't be sitting in their face either. But whenever you watch Tambra in scenes with either or the both of them, just watch her body language. She's not going to really, she's going to talk, but not as much as she talks to Latrice, or she has much comfort with Latrice and Selena. I don't even think she and Carrie they're cool. But I think because probably Carrie is more of Letitia's friend, she probably has paused with Carrie as well. Like, I just don't think these ladies have done right by Tambra. And when we think about the season in whole, because her and Latrice wasn't friends like that, Latrice didn't start being Tambra's friend until Letitia burned Latrice. It's the truth. Anyway, Cliff and Matt hangs out. I think Cliff likes Matt, not in a boyfriend type of way. I really think that he thinks Matt is cool. Okay, I just don't think he liked Willie like that. Okay, remember Big Willie came on? He ain't really fool with Willie like that. But Matt, he thinks Matt is cool, and maybe because they the same color. Okay, because he was cool with JJ. I don't know. But him and Glenn, that father-son relationship is over. So we found out that Cliff didn't want to meet with Glendale and Matt. He just wanted to meet up with Matt. Cliff said him and Glendale can be cordial, but it will never be the same. Matt wants them to sit down and talk. Cliff said the Bells need to sit down and talk. He was like, I'm not a Belle. He tells Matt, you might be a Belle. Cliff, stop calling these men Bells. Because in reality, if we really think about it, you are the real Belle. Okay? You just calm down a lot. But whatever. So Matt laughed it off. He was like, all right. He take it on the chin. They both agreed that Glenn needs to apologize. First of all, it needs to start with an apology. You cannot apologize without acknowledging and taking accountability. Same thing. Glendale fails to do that. He thinks that everything is everybody else's fault except for his own. Okay? And Cliff said, yeah, Matt, he the peacemaker. And so he goes on to tell Matt, listen, my wife had blood clots and she don't need no worries. I'd rather lose Glenn than to lose his wife. And I was like, baby, them blood clots had Cliff shook it. Okay? Shout out to the Black Girls Den podcast, because my girl Alicia used that word all the time. Y'all go subscribe to her channel. Okay? Shook it. Okay? So anyway, the ladies take the trip to the Kerrapy session and whatnot. Letitia tells Marie about her and Glenn. She tells Marie that she want to be celibate because she want to protect her energy around her and the energy that goes inside of her. And I was like, after all of these years, you are just now wanting to do that? Okay, fine, girl. Fine. You can have it. It's your body, your choice. So Letitia said in her confessional, she want to have her own identity, but on the other hand, she something in her is still saying we can work her and Glenn can work something out. And I was like, why does that have to be an option? Why can't it be both? Why can't you have your own identity and still have your own husband? The fact that that is a choice in your brain further lets me know that you should not be with Glendale. I don't care what Carlos King have to say. Okay, we will not give you grace on that. Yeah, no. I was like, I was very disturbed, honestly, y'all. I was extremely disturbed by that, because the way she was saying it, it felt like I have to choose myself and my own identity, or I have to choose my husband. And there's a part of me that feels like she's going to make this work again. And she's going to go back to giving herself the bare minimum instead of giving herself what she deserved. Which is why Glendale going to come and act the fool next week at this lady's, whatever she had going on next week. When I tell you I was so annoyed with Glendale and his antics, yeah, you can stick a fork in me. Anyway, I just wanted to say, and this is what I wrote in my notes, y'all. You are contemplating making up with this man who has hurt you repeatedly, but you need time to make up with Latrice. Girl, now this was Letitia's word. She said she missed her friend. You missed your friend, but I do understand that people need time, and you shouldn't just forgive somebody right away, or because people are asking you to forgive. I think that forgiveness and all of those things should come in your own time, and you should process things in your own time. I do think that it's kind of crazy, and people may be like, oh, because that's my husband, and it doesn't matter. This man has caused nothing but pain. This man has given you nothing but grief, as we seen you on TV in these past seven, eight seasons or whatever. He has done nothing but pull from you and take your energy. That's what Glendale has done. I want to feel bad for her, and part of me does, but there's that other part of me that's just like, yeah, I can't. So this is all the ladies are headed to Carrie's house. So Tambra gets a phone call about her dad. She think her dad had a stroke. Tambra gets out the car because she's she's upset, and we don't know exactly what happened with her dad, but I am sending prayers to her and her family, her dad especially, for healing. And she decided, I'm not going to Carrie's house. I'm going to go visit my dad, because I am a daddy's girl. So, we know how Tambra, of course, feel about her parents. So that's where she's going to go. And I wasn't mad at it. Anyway, the ladies arrive at Carrie's home. And again, Carrie's home is beautiful. Very beautiful. And so all the ladies are sitting down. They arrived. And then we see a lady with red hair. And she have on all black. She is a relationship expert. She was actually good. The ladies are in their confessional saying how, they're against whatever Carrie has going in the lady that she has coming. She was like, the last time, she brought somebody, we all was in here crying. And why? Y'all were actually cleansing, if we're going to be honest. The one person who didn't want to purge and didn't want to cleanse is the one that's sitting in that damn confessional like this. Because she pissing me off. Turn around. Okay? Letitia, she just really pissing me off. How she's sitting sideways in that confessional with a thick neck ass. Okay, I be trying. Anyway, Everybody may not agree with the therapist, with the what was she, relationship expert person. I thought she did a good thing. I do think when Carrie brings someone on, she can't control how everything is going to go. My job is just to bring these people on. And I do feel like it is good to have a neutral party here to help y'all navigate through y'all friendships. Okay? So I think that they're so used to chaos and confusion that anything that's positive is always going to be a no. And Alethea is her name. Okay, that used to be my old boss name. But anyway, that's not what this is about. Because shout out to her. Okay. Anyway, Latrice said in her confessional how Letitia said, she won't restart. She won't restart when she wants a restart. I'm sorry, y'all, I had to fix that. When in actuality, Letitia is a problem. Like Latrice was like, Letitia is the danger. I mean, that's all I'm gonna say. So Alethea asked Letitia, can she call Latrice a friend? Letitia says she don't need to give her energy to that. Yes, because you need to like you're okay, let me say this in a way that's not hurtful. You need to be regurgitating? Yes. All of that energy that you're holding in between this friend group, and I don't even think it's high key. I don't think this friend group, I think everything you have going on to what you want to do in life, your career choices, mainly your marriage, is what's holding you back. That's where you don't even want to give energy to that. You just want it to go away. You just sit there and you just wait like it's just gonna go away and disappear. You don't want to deal with it. You don't. So you're gonna wait till the dust settle and you're just gonna take Glendale back. And when everything in your body is good and your body is feeling zen, you're gonna take Glendale back until he does something else. And then you're gonna have to start all over again. That don't make sense. It doesn't make sense. You're not tired. And again, the way Glendale treats you is how you've been treating the women in this group. And now what's happening is the negative behavior you have spewed onto these women on this show has come back to your doorstep. And you don't like it. So Alethea asked Latrice, what she called Letitia a friend. Latrice flat out said she flat out said Letitia is not her friend and was never her friend. She said it's fake and she speaks real good, but her action shows otherwise. I said, Letitia said when they cool, they're talking, having a good time, I guess, etc. When they're not, then I'm a horrible person. Latrice said, but you are a horrible person. You have shown yourself to be a horrible person, Letitia. Okay? You have. You're not a great person. Okay? So Selena was like, it can become draining. And I get it. But y'all need to take yourselves out of this. You guys are too emotionally invested into these women. And they know that. Like, yeah. So she was like, after her party, she was thinking, is there no more hope with Latrice or Letitia? And it could not be. And y'all have to be okay with that. Y'all, again, you cannot make people be friends who just don't want to be friends. They can be in the same room together. We've seen it plenty of times with Latrice and Marie. Excuse me. They have been in the same room together. There are times where they didn't say anything to each other. So yeah. I would say Gucci, but every time she seen Selena, she ran in a different direction because You know what? I'm just glad they gone. Anyway, so Letitia and Latrice start to argue. And I mean, they are really arguing. Latrice is angry. And she tells her, you're beneath me. Girl, stop telling these people that. Like, you have such this elitist attitude. But I will say this. The only time you bring out that attitude is when you're in conflict. And that's, you should not. I feel like saying that. I feel like that is how you really feel about these ladies. You said it about Marie in not this 0.5 season, but the season before that. Okay. You do. You say that when you're angry. And I get it, because these are the same two women that has went below the belt with you. And I think at this point, you're just tired. So whatever you get is what you get. So Alethea said, listen to how y'all speaking to each other. And this is a Belle collective. Nobody is asking you two to be friends. But what they don't want is this, the contention. So Latrice's feelings is hurt. And she started to cry. Like, it was like this lady just pulled everything out of Latrice in seconds. And Latrice started to cry. Because, again, when you love somebody, you know, it's the thing. You can't just turn that off. That was, look, I don't care how long y'all been beefing or whatever. You and Letitia was friends at some point. Y'all was friends. So it is what it is. Latrice, I feel like her feelings is hurt. She started to cry. And so in this moment, follow me. When all the ladies except for Carrie, because Carrie's not going to rally around Latrice, she's going to rally around Letitia, which means you have already picked a side, you and that other girl, and I'm glad we didn't see her. Anyway, when the ladies rallied around Latrice, Marie got up and she had some toilet paper in her hand. Because, first of all, Latrice, why was you using this Lady Burberry scarf to wipe your tears? Girl, you had better bought that lady a real Burberry scarf. Okay? You putting all your snot and makeup on there. Girl, I was like, girl, do you really think you're better than them? Okay? Anyway, so the ladies rallied around her, but when Marie got up to hand Latrice the tissue, and she tells Latrice, you need to release this hurt, because all it is hurt. Like, Latrice is hurt by her so-called friend. Her so-called friend ain't hurt by Latrice, but she's really hurt behind Glenn. When Marie got up, she unrolled the tissue, she handed it to Latrice. The way Letitia sat on that couch and looked at Marie, she looked at Marie up and down. She was like this. I was like, and I probably wasn't supposed to be paying attention to that part, but I pay attention to not everything, but I pay attention to everything. I was like, ugh, child. Then, Letitia just somehow found the tears from out of nowhere. She tells the therapist lady, she knows I've been hurt. She knows my husband has cheated on me. She knows, the things that I've been going through. But that's a you thing, Letitia, because even though all of these things are happening to you, you are still contemplating staying with this man instead of just getting in gathering your right mind, leaving, moving in with your mom. If you have to do that, getting yourself together. So, this is the whole part of rebuilding. Listen, I know she got the cards in her name, and I know she older and all of that, but sometimes you just got to restart, and it is what it is. But you keep going back to Glendale. You keep setting yourself back. Anyway, I just wanted to say that. But she started to cry, and I just felt like her tears were forced. And again, it's not because I dislike, it just didn't feel genuine. Letitia sitting on that couch making herself cry didn't feel genuine. She looked like she was pissed when she saw them rally around Latrice. And so when she started to cry, Carrie handed her and was trying to wipe her face. She kind of did this, moved away, and grabbed the tissue from Carrie. I think she was pissed because they didn't rally around her. It's crazy. I don't know, y'all. I could be thinking too much into it, but I just think that there is this level of phoniness. Yes, on Latrice as well, but mainly on Letitia. And I really do think underneath all of that hurt and pain, Letitia is a really nice person. Like, we saw that in season 1 until she started tripping. Okay? Anyway, she said that, Latrice had been tearing her down, and I was like, when? Like, again, this is another reason where I could be wrong, but I am just like, when did Latrice tear you down? I really do feel like everything Latrice did was in response to what you and other people have been doing to her over the years. Like, I don't know, y'all, make that make sense for me. And yeah, so the lady wants them to go out and talk, so I'm assuming that's gonna happen next week, where they're gonna go out and talk. But are y'all just gonna be talking because she's asking y'all to talk, or are y'all going to talk because it is much needed and y'all gonna have another argument again? Like, this show doesn't have to be all arguments all the time. Like, y'all can really get along and still have drama and have a good show. Like, this is crazy. Anyway, this is where the episode ended because I was just tired of it. And then next week, Glendale gonna come and show his natural ass. And again, he's gonna sabotage that woman. I'm sorry, y'all. I cannot. I actually enjoy Marie, Selena. I enjoy these two ladies. I just enjoy their vibe and their spirit, and Carrie. I enjoy these ladies. Tambra, I enjoy her in the group, but Tambra, like all the rest of the ladies, ain't bringing nothing. However, I do enjoy the dynamics of the Bells. All right. With all of that being said, y'all, that's all I got. This is your girl Kiwan, reminding you to keep showing up, keep growing, stay true to yourself. And I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.